Welcome back to Agree to Disagree, the podcast hosted by two lovebirds while we try and navigate our relationship through the agrees and the disagrees, hosted by myself, Will, and my beautiful Sheila, Jessie
Oh
Wynter.
my God, we're still using the word Sheila.
But let's actually move on to awkward. I quite like that if we can pick out some things that are awkward for no reason.
Awkward or embarrassing for no
There's
reason.
loads of things, and everyone has felt this in the past or have done things that and felt awkward when you actually shouldn't feel awkward.
I am like a person that just feels unnecessarily awkward. Like I always feel awkward.
Yeah.
Like when I am like walking, I am like, am I walking right? Do you know what I mean? Or like sometimes if I even think about like my breathing, I'm like, am I breathing right? Or am I like breathing awkward?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like I just feel like everything is awkward.
So I think playing your favorite song in a car full of people, or you taking over the music. So if you're in a car and you're like, oh, you know, who wants the aux? You take the aux, you put on your songs. I feel awkward if no one's singing along, if people aren't joining in, or if they don't like the music, because I feel like that's my fault. It's not the artist's fault. It's not that they've not produced good songs. It's my fault.
That's like, so we were in the car the other night with our friends and then we had like the aux on and then they had like rap music.
Yeah, and they were like, what's your go-to hype me up song? And I was like, Murder on the Dance Floor. And it just fucking changed the mood. But I tell you something, that was a fan favorite because everyone in the car was bouncing. But then it was Jessie's turn and Jessie was too embarrassed to pick a song.
Yeah, I was like, I'm just not even going to get in that situation.
Because if they don't vibe with your song, that's on you.
Yeah, it's really embarrassing. Like, I love my music. I'm so proud of it. But the minute it's on a loudspeaker and I say, oh, this is my favorite song.
Yeah.
Why is that embarrassing?
That is
Makes me want to like crawl in a hole.
Yeah. Also, if you're in a car with three people and you're in the back and the music is playing and you like try and talk to them or they're like talking and you try and involve in the conversation, but it's too loud and they can't hear you and you can't hear them. So you just have to sit in the back like a good little baby boy and just sit there quietly.
I like sit in the middle and like pop my head through.
Embarrassing.
How about, okay, when the waiter or waitress comes over and you're like in the middle of a really deep conversation.
Oh, yeah. That's awful. That's awkward. And what makes it even more awkward is that then this is what I do. If I'm in a deep conversation or just a normal conversation, I just go silent. I fucking turn mute. Waiter comes over and I'm like mute and I'm like,
yeah.
Smiling, nodding, yep. And then she leaves and you get back into yip and yapping. But
like,
it's just awkward for that. And it feels for so long, isn't it?
Literally, this always happens to me like on the airplane. I always like to watch like sad movies and I like cry. So that I'll be like sitting there like, I was sobbing my eyes out and they come around with a food cart and like I'm not saying no to that food. So you're literally sitting there shriveled down in your seat. I feel like a peasant because they feel so tall. I've got tears streaming down my face. I feel like a fucking snot bubble at this rate. And they go, would you like chicken or beef?
Yeah, chicken or beef. Fucking hell, that shit haunts me. Chicken or beef, chicken or beef. Fucking not.
No.
Yeah, and it's even more worse if the waiter comes over and you've got a mouthful of food. How was your food? And you're like, you give them the awkward like thumbs up, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you like try to swallow it and you like gulp.
Oh my God, imagine awkward for no reason, having something in your food, a hair in your food, but you won't complain.
That is the worst. This is the thing.
You would.
I would now, yeah.
I
I've just
don't.
grown up to be like.
I just fucking eat it.
No, because
that
I used
pube tastes lovely.
I used to work in a kitchen and not in a kitchen. I used to work as a waitress and I had this really passionate chef. He was amazing. He was so proud of his work. So when people in the restaurant wouldn't eat their food and like the plate would come back full, he'd be like, why didn't they eat it? Go ask them. So I would have to fucking walk back out and be like, hey, like, you didn't like your food, say this to the customer. Like the chef just wants to know if you got any feedback.
What was the feedback?
It would just be, oh no, yeah, it's good. I was just full. So then I go back to the chef and like numerous times this chef like wouldn't take that as an answer. So he would go out and ask the customer themselves in his chef uniform in the restaurant and be like, oh yeah, like I noticed you didn't eat your food. Like why?
Yeah.
And like that is
give me the reason.
traumatizing. So now I'm just like, do you know what? If there's a hair in it, I'll tell them. Do you know what I mean? Politely.
Yeah, Jessie is the Karen in the relationship. She will do that.
Especially if I'm really hungry. Like, I know it's awkward, but like, girl, I need to eat.
Running for absolutely anything.
Yeah, me running through the tube station with my like 5-inch heels the other day.
If that's running for tubes, buses, trains, anything.
I've got no shame in it. I will do that. Do you know, I've got
You've got no choice. You have to do it. But why is it just embarrassing? I feel like everyone's fucking watching.
Do you know what is embarrassing? Because sometimes people do recognize us off Love Island when we're like in the tubes, and I am on a mission.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like to miss my trains. I told you I have that mental plan in my head. I can't be missing the train. So I will be running, huffing, puffing, look like I'm doing an actual marathon. And then people are like, Jessie, can I get a photo? And I'm like in the middle of sprinting in a trench coat
just
and
fucking
heels.
marching along.
Embarrassing.
Having to repeat yourself more than once.
Oh my goodness, guys. I don't know if Will does this to annoy me. Whenever I say anything to you, Will, you always say what? That's your first reaction.
Yeah, that is, I'm quite bad. But that's not embarrassing when we go, like, have to do it. It's embarrassing, like, when you have to repeat yourself or explain what you're saying as well.
Especially if you were trying to be funny.
Oh, yeah, that's awful. That is awful. Yeah.
It's like, nah, not saying
That's
it.
awful as well. Like, if you say a joke and no one laughs.
Yeah, I know. It's like, and then someone else will like repeat it louder than you.
Mm.
And then everyone will laugh. Like, this actually happens with me and Will. I will like say something like as a joke. No one hears me. So then Will retells my joke in your big, loud, like emotive voice. And then everyone
cracks up. I do this to Jessie quite a lot, actually. She tells me, she's very knowledgeable and she tells me a lot of information and I just store it up and I wait for right times when we're like talking to people and I'll just come out with this really intelligent stuff and Jessie will like stand there and like look at me in disgust and be like, you fucking bitch. I told you that.
No, because sometimes we have interviews, right? And Will be like, what are you going to say? I'll be like, oh, this is what I'm going to say. We get to the interview. They ask the question. Will opens his mouth and says my answer first.
I do give Jessie the chance to say it first in the sense that if Jessie hasn't said it, then I will say it.
Sometimes you go straight out of it.
Sometimes I do go straight out because I've got to sound intelligent.
But sometimes I'm impressed that you actually listen to me. So sometimes you do it and I'm like, wow.
Yeah, because we'll get home and Jessie will go like, oh, so you do listen to me.
So you do? Yeah. I was like, you do listen to me. So why do you say what every time I speak?
How about coming out of public toilets, especially the train toilets with the doors that go really slowly? Single man, reveal yourself.
I feel like an Avenger coming out of their like Iron Man when he comes out of his case, but you're coming out of a toilet.
I know. And you can see everything in there as well. Like they open. And then when you click the button, you almost have to just stand there before doing anything and wait for it to close.
Okay. The train toilets, firstly, I'm very grateful that trains in the UK have toilets because we don't have them in Australia.
Yeah.
Maybe the interstate ones, I don't know, but the trains that are in Sydney don't have toilets. So
I'm so happy because
bougie.
I've got a teeny, beeny, tiny, skinny bladder. So every time I have a coffee and I always get a coffee before going on the train, I need at least 2 pisses on that train. And I had a fucking awful. So this was not awkward for me. This was awkward for the other man that was in the toilet. So obviously when you go in and press close, you have to manually lock it. And this man didn't lock it. So I went over for a wee, clicked the button and it goes slowly opens. This man... It's a Friday night or lunch, whatever. This man is on his hands and knees by the toilet, putting stuff up his nose.
How awkward.
And it went and it wasn't just me who saw it, the train saw it. So he like grabbed it, stood up, wiped his nose and tried to close it as soon as possible. And it was just humiliating. Like I felt awkward.
No, yeah. So because I was sitting further back and I actually saw this happen from a distance because with the train toilets, they're facing the way the seats are facing.
Yeah.
So everybody in the train is like sitting facing you, go in or come out of the toilet. And like there's this man, he's quite like old.
He's not 30 to 40, I would say.
Yeah. 30's not old. He was way older than 40.
Jessie's 30, guys.
I am not 30, but 30's not old, everybody, and I will vouch for that. 30's young.
All right, 40.
He was like 40 plus.
40 plus then.
And he's doing that on his Friday afternoon.
Yeah, that was
the whole
fucking
train saw.
bonkers.
School kids were on the train as well.
Yeah, it was bonkers. And I was just like, oh my God. Like, and everyone's like looking. And like, because I was like waiting to go into the toilet, I tried to be like, I'm not part of this. Like, I'm not. I was like, my girlfriend's over there. I am not part of this. It was crazy. That was awful. But anything to do with toilets on trains.
Can you imagine if you were like weeing and like the door wasn't locked for some reason,
Yeah.
and then we're like sitting on the toilet. That's like my worst nightmare.
Yeah, that's fucking awful.
Once when we were on the way back from London and we stopped at like a Asda service station, I think. It was like a little shop, a petrol station with a toilet. Anyways, I went to go into the toilet and there was a lady on the toilet. She just didn't lock the door. And I walked in on her on the toilet. I didn't say anything because she was like that.
Yeah.
But like embarrassing.
That is embarrassing. How about your card declining, but you know you've got money on there and you try and pay for something and it declines?
Yeah, and you're like, oh, like, no, it's there, I promise.
Yeah, so that's happened to Jessie before, like especially when we came out of the villa because she had an Australian card in the UK, so her bank was just blocking it. And I used to play along with it and I was like, oh my God, Jessie, that's fine. Let me grab this one. Like, I've got this one today.
Like, no, guys, I've got money, but my bank just bans me from my own bank account every time I...
That's awkward for no reason, isn't it? That should not be awkward. Well, it probably should because it's just like, I do have money.
Or like if you have to transfer your money from your savings, I always do that. Like no money in the main account. So if anyone steals my bank account, but then it's like I'm locking myself out from my own money.
Yeah.
You gotta stand it. And why does it beep so loud?
Yeah.
Why does the machine beep so go beep?
Yeah, I know. And then everyone like stood behind the thing. It's like, your card has declined. Letting everyone in the line behind you know, your card has declined. You know that? And you're like, fucking shut up.
Do you want a copy of the decline receipt?
Yeah, it is. Shut up right now. Shut the fuck up right now.
Another thing that is really awkward and embarrassing for no reason is when you're walking in a group of 3 and you're like walking on the sidewalk and like there's only space for 2. So you either have to have 1 foot on the sidewalk and 1 foot on the road, or you have to like be at the back. I mean, like, guys.
Yeah, that is awful. You're just not involved in the conversation at all, are you?
That always happens to me. I always get pushed to the back.
Yeah.
Because I'm like the small one.
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
or you have to walk like hobbling, like one on the road, one up on the curb, curb. Yeah. No, thank you. How about asking for money back?
Oh, I hate doing that.
Asking for money back. They owe you money. It is technically your money. Why does it feel so awful when you go, can I have my money back?
Sometimes you just have to write it off, don't you?
And then it's even worse when they go, yeah, I'll do it. Half an hour's passed. Did you transfer that?
It?
Oh, no, not yet. I'll do it in a bit. Okay. Another hour. Have you haven't done it? Can you transfer it? And they just go, yeah. That used to happen to me all the time with some people that I knew that I used to go on holiday with. I don't really hang out with them anymore. But they would owe you money, and it was just like getting to the point where it was just like, just fucking send it to me.
I know, it's so awkward. It's also embarrassing just having to be like, oh, hey, can you send that over? Like,
you have that right now.
I have that like mega. So with like being an influencer, social media, whatever, you get paid by like managements, and pretty much the brand pays your management, and then your management pay you. But I've got a management that just won't give me my money.
Yeah.
And I'm not with them anymore. But I keep messaging, being like, hey, can I have my money? Can I have my money? And then I'd be like, yeah, can you like transfer me my money? And they'll be like, oh, sorry, like I'm in Disneyland.
Yeah.
Like, babe, okay, next week, oh, can you transfer me my money? Oh no, we're moving offices. I'll do it next week. It's literally been months, and this isn't even a little bit of money. This is a lot of money.
Yeah.
And it's actually really stressing me out because now they're just ignoring me.
Yeah.
And then I'll like Instagram message them. I'm tempted to just rock up and be like, hey guys, can I
give me my fucking money back?
Yeah, because it's actually like a lot of money. And one thing that's really frustrating about this is they had talent on Love Island All Stars. I know that management's got money, and I know they've got my money, and the brands have paid them because I've actually gone to the extent to message the brands.
Who is it? Call them out.
No, I'm not calling them out because I'm praying that they are just being a bit slow and they're going to transfer it.
It's been over a year. This is more than a bit slow.
They received my money, and then they had like a big Christmas party, and I was watching the Christmas party on Instagram being like, oh, so they don't have my money, but they've got all the money to spend on the Christmas party.
Yeah, this is a bit ridiculous.
It is a bit ridiculous, and it's really not fair because I went last year months with doing the work and not receiving any income. So technically, I should have been earning money, but last year there was no money coming in. So I'm here spending my savings, my life savings, because I'm like, oh yeah, the money's gonna come in.
Yeah.
It just doesn't come in. It's now like a year later. I'm like, we're trying to get a mortgage, and I'm like, Babs, I need my money.
Yeah. We're coming for you.
No, I feel like they are really lovely people. But if you could stop ignoring me and give me my money.
Come on.
That would be nice.
Yeah. This is the most awkward thing. And it's even more awkward when it's not with someone you overly know. But saying goodbye and walking then the same direction.
I hate this. And I have a method to get out of it. So I always just never tell them which direction I'm walking. Like never position my body.
Jessie
I
would.
remain neutral and then I just walk the other way. I don't care if it's not where I want to go.
It annoys me because sometimes Jessie does that and walk. So sometimes we will walk in separate directions, me and Jessie, like when we say goodbye to people because she doesn't want to walk the same way. But then like sometimes I'm just like, no, come on, this is ridiculous. We're not walking fucking an extra half an hour so we don't walk the same way. But it is when you're like, bye, and then you like walk the same way and it's like, oh, we're saying bye in a bit then. And then it's like, you just finished the conversation. So it's like, do you start new conversation or do you just walk in silence? Do you speed walk? Do you like slow down? There's a whole lot of things that you should look into.
Nah, I will at all times avoid this. Ways to avoid this is never tell them where you're going. Okay, I've got to go now. Don't tell them where you're going.
Yeah.
I never disclose which way I'm going. And then I just automatically walk the opposite direction and I will walk. I don't care. I will walk until they're out of my vision because I'm not having that awkward.
Yeah, that's awful. Imagine if you walk away and then someone's dog starts barking at you.
Oh my God. Why do dogs bark all the time at me?
Yeah.
That's so weird. Yeah, like, is there something wrong with me? I think it's because they can pick up like the scents from your dogs.
I doubt it. I don't think that's really a thing.
What?
I don't think we don't really spend that much time with our dogs.
Okay. They're chat.
They're not barking at you because of the fucking sense. They're barking at you because you look vicious.
I don't look vicious.
But it is, and you're like, that's even worse because it's like, do you go up to the dog and be like, there, doggy? But then you're like terrified it's gonna fucking eat you, or do you just be like, ha? She's like, oh, this dog's going.
She's like, oh, it's okay, it's friendly.
And it's like, it's fucking not. I can see it growling at me.
Moving on to our agree to disagree questions of the week.
And these are a little bit different this week because these are actually agree to disagree moments that you all sent in. So thank you for these and we'll agree to disagree. And also what we've been doing on our Instagram is a poll where we do the agree to disagree moments. And what we're going to start doing is show you and tell you the results.
So the first one for today is drinking tap water from the bathroom gross or not?
It's gross. Have I done it? Absolutely fucking yes.
We do it after a night out when we're like, you know, when you wake up like hungover and you're like, just give me water.
Yeah, and especially in your hotel and you've drunk the water, it's like, I need fucking to hydrate myself drinking out of bathroom tap.
Just don't ever do that in Bali. Don't do that in Bali, babes. You'll get Bali belly.
If I'm feeling extra lazy at home, boom, bathroom's closer. I especially did it when we used to stay with my parents because going downstairs was long as fuck. Bathroom upstairs, chill.
Yeah, glass of water from the bathroom. Where I'm from in Tasmania, we have tap water. So all of our water, no tap water, tank water.
They've got tank water, people. And I don't think people in England really have tank water.
Yeah, so it's always just fresh and nice.
So literally the water gets caught by the rain and they drink that.
Yeah, it obviously gets filtered by the time it gets to our tap. But like one bad thing with that is obviously in the summertime, you have to have real short showers because we run out of water. But like, I'm just like,
guys,
I always trust the water. I'm like, oh yeah,
water.
it should be nice.
It's the freshest water in the flipping world. I'll tell you that much. I love it. It's like my slurp juice.
The podcast family on Instagram, 60% of people say no, they disagree. Don't be drinking the bathroom tap water.
Yeah.
And 40% of people say, yeah, it's fine.
Well, I'm thinking that 60%, you've definitely done it in your life. I don't fully agree with it. Do I still do it? Fuck yes. I will fucking slurp that. No problem.
Is it disrespectful to like Instagram models' photos while you're in a relationship?
Yeah. I think it is. I think it's weird behavior. I know someone who has it. Like, I know someone who I went to school with who's got a girlfriend and they've been dating for a long time. And I see him like pictures of like other islanders that we know. Like, I'll always, because obviously I follow them, I'll always see this person's like that picture. And I'm like, bro, just a little bit weird.
Do you know what I also think is weird? Even if you're in a relationship and they're liking like random girls' photos that they don't even really know that well.
Yeah.
Like if she's not like one of your close friends or a close family friend, like why are you going and liking their photos?
Yeah.
Or liking old photos. That is just like...
Oh, liking old photos, that is in weirdest behavior because you want them to notice and you want them to know that you've been stalked.
Yeah. And I feel like with liking Instagram photos, like people would always be like, oh, it's nothing. Like I had this in like that relationship we were talking about before. They're like, oh, it's nothing. It's just like a like on Instagram. That is so true. But it's like if it annoys your partner, if they don't like it, if they think it's disrespectful, yet you still choose to do it, I think that's where the true disrespect lies.
Yeah, no, I fully agree with that. I don't think you should be doing it at all, to be fair. What are you going to get out of it? Nothing. You're actually getting zero out of it.
And I sometimes think like men don't understand, and it can happen to women as well. When, say, for example, if you're liking like these itty bitty, like really good looking girls' photos on Instagram, like models that I don't look like, what's that going to do to my self-esteem? I'm going to be looking at that. I'm like, oh my
You're
God,
sexy.
my boyfriend clearly thinks
sexy
that's
and
hot.
you know
I don't
it.
look like that.
You're sexy
It's
and
like,
you know it.
the self-esteem, it just gets to you. How would you feel if I was liking like shredded, like...
Me, you'll be just liking me.
Yeah,
I'm fucking shred these days.
But like it just wouldn't make you feel good, I don't think.
No.
The poll for this one is 59% agree and 41% disagree.
Well, that's a lot that disagree. No, that's a lot that, disagree, I think.
Yeah.
That's
I
a
think,
lot.
yeah, it's different relationship to relationship, but I genuinely feel like if your boyfriend was consistently liking like bikini models photos, I'd be like, why is your page even filled with that?
I'm surprised.
Is it disrespectful to call someone fit or comment on someone's looks in front of your partner?
Yes.
I think that's just a bit weird too. Why are you sitting next to me being like, oh, she's fit? Do you know what I mean?
Are you talking about like real life or something?
Real
because
life.
I feel like you've tried to definitely trap me fucking in the past when you go, oh, she's good looking, isn't she? And then I'm like, no. And it's like, I feel like you're trying to trap me and like, so I just go no. And then you'll turn around and be like, well, you're just obviously fucking lying then because she is attractive.
I think...
And it's like, how do I win here? Like, what the fuck do I say? Do you know what I mean?
No, but I do think, like, I look at girls, I'm like, oh my God, she's stunning.
And I'll go,
And, like,
nah.
Yeah, I'm like, that's just not true. You can appreciate, like, that person is beautiful. Like, I think you can appreciate that people are beautiful.
Yeah.
But then I think if, like, a good-looking girl walks by and you were like, oh, she's fit, I would be like, okay, why are you commenting on her appearance right now? Like, it's giving wolf whistling and that shit, catcalling. Like, weird.
So I think there's a difference between what me and you were talking about, like when you go, oh, she's attractive, isn't she? Blah, blah, blah. Instead of me like sitting down and be like, oh, she's fit, isn't she? Like walking past, there's a difference.
Yeah, or if you were like eyeing off a girl, like I would just be like, ugh, ick. Do you know what I mean? If like a really pretty girl walked past and you're like, or like commented on that.
Yeah,
I
but
think,
actually at the start, I'm a people watcher. So like I just like looking at people and I'm just very intrigued in my head. It's actually really bad because I do it too much to the point where Jessie's like, stop fucking staring at other people. And I don't know why. I just find it very intrigued because I'm like in my little brain, I'm like, oh my God, they've got like a whole life. I wonder what they're doing over there. Like earlier in the pod when we were talking about the sugar daddy and the little thing, I was like looking at their date and I was like, yeah, I can figure out what's going on here sort of thing. So I'm like really bad at that. Anywho.
Yeah, but like if you were to say, oh, she's fit, I would be like, that's just not necessary.
Yeah, no, 100%. I don't think you should look at people and objectify them like that.
Exactly.
It's fucking horrific behavior. You're objectifying them. They've got feelings and a personality. There's more to them than their looks.
So I agree with that statement that it is disrespectful. 70% of people on Instagram did say that they agree that it is disrespectful to comment on other people in the way they look in front of your partner.
Yeah.
And 30% disagree with that.
I would love if we could deep dive this and find out who's in a relationship and who's not.
Give us some examples. Let us know your stories that revolve around any of these, please.
Yep, so that's a wrap, people. That's an absolute freaking wrap. We hope you've enjoyed today's episode. We're going to be a lot more interactive on Instagram. So if you're not following our page, head over and follow our page. It's just agree to disagree. Just type that in and get involved with our Q&As, our polls, our questions, everything like that. But thanks so much for listening.
Thank you so much for listening. And remember as well, if you're listening on Spotify, could you please click follow for us? We would absolutely love a few more Spotify followers. We know that there's lots of listeners, but you're not clicking follow.
Yeah, everything. If you're watching, subscribe. But yeah, that's everything from us today, my people.
Love ya. Bye.